What's old is new, is the principle that guides the craftsman Erin Moriarty of 48 Hours now tells us about.
John Derian is on a treasure hunt in New York City.
Hello. You never know. It's like making a new discovery.
First stop, a century-old establishment on the Lower East Side named, aptly enough, the Old Print Shop.
These are our small horses. We have Americana. We have some...
He'll spend hours digging through piles of 18th and 19th century etchings and lithographs.
Just something about the charm, the way things are rendered.
And what does Derian do with these expensive images? He cuts them up, turning these long-forgotten pictures into 21st century collectibles.
Are you a collagist? Are you an artist? Are you an artisan?
It's so weird. Sometimes I don't really know how to, what to call myself. I just love sharing all this stuff.
Bowls, plates, paperweights, sold in his own shops and at more than 600 stores around the world. Here's the display at New York's Bergdorf Goodman.
It's sort of like reverse painting. You'll have one image that goes on first, and then behind it is another image.
With the same precision that Derian selects his patterns, his hand-picked staff of artisans follows his vision.
We have to draw a little diagram of where it goes on and what piece goes on first.
Gluing high-quality prints of the original images to various pieces of glassware.
The whole piece, I guess, takes probably about an hour with drying time.
Every piece reflects Derian's unique sense of whimsy.
I think it's super funny that it's like a bat that has a human face.
And there's the couple clothed in pea pods, along with the more traditional images.
Horses popular?
Horses are popular, yes.
So what doesn't do as well?
People.
John Derian, now 55, grew up in Watertown, Massachusetts, getting lost in old books and movies.
Did you ever think when you were growing up that this is what you'd be doing?
No, I'm the youngest of 6, and I was sort of a freak because I was the quiet one that made things, and my dad was like, what do we do with him?
I get the impression they didn't really understand what you were doing.
Yeah, in my mid-20s, my dad had this idea that I could lease a milk truck and deliver milk somehow. Like, he was kind of very clueless to what I did or who I was.
As a young man, he did study art for a bit, painted and collected buttons. Lots of buttons.
This is one of like 5 suitcases.
Oh my gosh, and these are buttons? They look like gems. So you're still thinking about doing something with all these buttons?
They're in the back of my brain, yeah.
And what flickers in Derian's brain could fill rooms, and in fact does. Rooms inside 3 side-by-side Manhattan stores. The first one opened in 1995.
This is not what I expected.
There's a lot to look at.
I know. This is not what I expected. Oh my God. Oh my God. So where should I look first?
Everything here is handmade.
Do some people just come in here and just look? I mean,
It's fine with me. I think just looking is great. I really do.
That's a $60 paperweight. And every object is placed just so.
I will go in there and move something an inch. It is part of my life. I live sort of in those stores in a way, like my home.
He's not kidding. He lives right above one of his shops.
My dream is that people would not know how to get out, and just think it's a cabinet.
Where he turned an old cabinet into the entrance doorway and replaced a wall with a wooden structure that is 250 years old.
I had this wall in storage for like 16 years, and when I got the space, it fit it perfectly. This is a found piece from the 30s.
In 2016, Derian collected the images he loves most and put them in a book.
These things, they really crack me up. I love those.
And he says, it's just fine if you want to cut it up.
Yes, please go right ahead and do it. I hope that people will keep one book for themselves and maybe get another one to cut up.
When you're suggesting that people actually cut out some of these images, what do you do with them?
I like the idea of framing them and hanging them in a group, and it looks great.
John Derian has discovered the beauty of living in the past.
It's as if someone else planned my life, and I just woke up and I was like, oh, this is my life. I definitely feel lucky. I don't really know how all of this happened.